Hi, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk about how to control your bridge of incidents. So a bridge of incidents, just to be very clear, is the time between when you imagine and when the manifestation comes. So after you imagine what you want, right, which is the key to manifestation, whether or not you visualize or whatever technique you want to use, after you visualize, between that moment and the moment you receive the manifestation, that's called the bridge of incidents, right? Now, not every time we get to know exactly when and how the bridge of incidents is going to unfold, but nevertheless, we can control and manage the ways that our manifestation unfolds to a degree or to varying degrees. So that's what I want to talk about. So first of all, if you haven't done so already, like this video. It does something so that to the algorithm, so that those people who would not normally be able to see this video would get this truth, get this rare truth. Hit the subscribe button to get informed on laser focused systematic ways on how to manifest your desires, and then also hit the bell icon to get notified. So let's jump right into it then. Just to reiterate what I said before, a bridge of incidents is essentially what happens or how you get to your end result. Now, the world as we know it right now is a bunch or a number of bridge of incidents. So we have tons of manifestations set into motion right now. A lot of them we don't know. A lot of them hopefully we do know if we've been putting the techniques to the test. So one of the ways to set bridge of incidents in motion is to visualize or to write down or to have an inner conversation about the end result after having already received your desire. Now, let me make this clear. I want to say that again. After you have received what you want, what would you be doing? Who would you call? What would you be feeling? So these are the types of things we want to consider when constructing our imaginal scene. And an imaginal scene doesn't just mean like a script or a visual scene, but it could, like I said, mean any other type of technique, such as our affirming statements. What would you be saying to yourself after you have already received it, right? Things of that nature. So anyway, once you successfully have mapped out what you want and put it and converted it into a kind of imaginal scene, so to speak, that's when you use a technique to impress it upon your subconscious mind. Now, your subconscious mind is that which impresses upon infinite awareness or God. And God then does the work to maneuver and move everyone through impulse and thought through their own impulse and thought to give you what you want. Now, here's where the bridge of incidents comes in. If there are moving parts or pieces that need to be moved in order for you to receive your manifestation, that is the bridge of incidents. So when you want to receive a bunch of money, say you imagine receiving a large sum of money, there's going to be moving parts, right? We don't just, it's not just a blink and the entire universe changes and you just somehow miraculously have a stack of money in your hand, right? That's not how the system is set up. That's not how this world is set up. In the internal mind, in the imagination, in the awareness mind, that's how it is. But this is the manifestation world, which means everything comes through the process of manifestation, which means that the way in which our manifestation comes is based upon the laws of nature and our assumptions, beliefs, imaginal acts, feelings, moods, expectations. And I'll say that again. The way manifestations come are based on the laws of nature, which means gravity, time, velocity, anything from which this world works. The sun goes up, the moon goes up, right? Things of this nature, the things that automatically always happen in this world, those are considered the laws of nature, right? Time and space, things that consist within time and space, which is our 3D dimension, right? But when we imagine, we go into the world of eternity, right? We use our imagination to peer into eternity and select what we wish to experience. And then it must be converted again into time-space, right? Into time and space, into this 3D reality. And in order for it to be funneled through that system, the bridge of incidents must unfold. And that happens through the idea of impulse and thought, through me receiving thoughts and impulses to take certain actions, you receiving impulses and thoughts to take certain actions, and all of those will accumulate, and eventually I will have received my sum of money, right? Whether it's me winning, maybe I have the impulse to play the lottery and win. Maybe I have the impulse to walk down the street and I find a suitcase. Or maybe one of you just suddenly thinks, oh, I'm just gonna send Joseph a large sum of money, right? All of those thoughts would be set into motion without me having, here's the thing. We can't define precisely the exact steps as to how something is going to come, but we can know generally how something is going to come. And I'm gonna get into that now, but suffice it to say, a bridge of incidents is all of the events that have to happen in the middle to add up as a bridge, right? A bridge of incidents to lead you to that end result. And the way that this happens is through impulse of thought. So just to be clear, to reiterate it again, to explain, if I were to be the one imagining, I would imagine that would impress upon the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is connected to something, which is then connected to you, right? So I'm not connected to you directly, right? And this is obviously a concession of the mind. This is in a story form, but this is the way, if you test it, you figure out this is the way that it works. I imagine, impress the subconscious mind is connected to something, but you're connected to that something too, right? And that's what we call the God of Scripture. That's what's described as the I am, the God of Scripture. That's what's connected to us all. And once it's connected to you, which it always is, it's going to feed you thoughts and impulses, which you're going to think that they are your own thoughts, and you are going to take action based on what you think is your own action, your own free will, but it's going to add up to give me what I want. Now, it could just be you and me. It could be just you. It could be you and 1,000, a million others. It could be everyone in the world inspired to move 1 time, 5 times, 10 times, millions of different movements connected together in order to get me that stack of money, in order to get me that specific person. So that's the premise. Now, how do we get from there to controlling the bridge of incident? So here's the thing. Generally speaking, when we imagine something, after we let go, here's the thing. We should not try to control and manage the bridge of incidents as it's unfolding, because once we imagine something, a seed, so to speak, is planted with the DNA of the imaginal act that you have created or crafted, and that is going to grow in its perfect form and give everyone the impulses and make everyone move in a perfect way. However, as I said before, it's not only the laws of nature, but our beliefs, ideas, attitudes, impulses, imaginal acts, feelings, all of these together are combined within the DNA of that seed. So that means that my beliefs and assumptions are going to play a part in how you are going to act when you give me my money. So if I have a lot of negative thoughts, ideas, and attitudes, when I imagine something, then the way in which it can come is going to contain that DNA of those negative thoughts, ideas, and attitudes. So if we look at the way that the world is working in our experience personally, we can get an idea generally of what our beliefs are. Is our life seamless? Is it smooth? Is it on the up and up? Is it exciting? Are we wealthy? Do we have love in our life? Or is it painful? Are we depressed? Are we losing money? Are we having terrible relationships? I mean, most of the time it's a mix. When I started this process, was on the latter end. I was on depressed, had nothing, addicted, all that whole stuff. So, but just to give you hope that you can go from there to having everything. So this is kind of me trying to give you an idea. If you take a look at your life from 1,000-foot view or 10,000-foot view, you can kind of get an idea of how your assumptions, beliefs, ideas, and imaginal acts are coming to you, right? So now you can start to see, wow, I must be having negative thoughts about money because the way in which money's coming to me, even though I'm imagining that I have a large sum of money, everything seems to be going wrong when I get it, or it's not always an easy road. And that's because not only the laws of nature, which are required for you to get the results, but your assumptions and beliefs. Assumptions are beliefs, by the way, just to make that very clear. They're almost synonymous with each other. Those would be negative. If you're receiving negative results, if the things that you're manifesting are coming in a negative way, you can start to identify your assumptions, and I'll post some links on how to identify assumptions in the link below. I'm sorry, in the description below, so that you can get an idea of how to identify assumptions and how to replace assumptions. But nevertheless, you take this idea of what's going wrong. So if you start to see perhaps money is coming to you in bad ways, or perhaps you're losing money, what you do is, this is just a very brief overview of how to identify what assumptions are alive in you. You ask yourself, if something was inside of me that's creating these catastrophic events, what would it be? And we're looking for a statement. So a belief inside of me perhaps says, money is hard to get, or money always comes to me sideways in negative ways, right? So these statements, if these are beliefs inside of me, this is the way in which my manifestations are going to unfold, or all relationships go bad, or all women cheat on me, or nothing ever goes smoothly. When I'm manifesting things, all women are going to cheat on me. Nothing comes smoothly. So now it comes to the point of rewriting it. So first it's identifying what is going wrong, or identifying the way in which you want things to go. And now we replace the negative. We have to replace the negative by imagining, writing it down. We need to replace those negative possible statements so that our bridge of incidents can come in a way in which we want them to come. So just to wrap that part up, what we do now, if I believe that everything comes, things are hard to get, or nothing comes easily, when I'm imagining things, when they manifest, it's going to come in a way that proves that things don't come easily. So we have to rewrite that. And how do we rewrite that? By literally rewriting it. Every manifestation comes to me easily and effortlessly. Things always come to me in a perfect way. Everything is easy for me, right? We can write these statements down. We can visualize them. Visualize someone telling me, Joseph, everything comes to you so easy. Your manifestations come perfect. I can write a script about it. I can journal entry from the future. Dear God, I'm so grateful everything comes to me easily and effortlessly. So we take the opposite of the things which are currently alive in us, and we replace it with that which we want. Now, when I imagine the next thing, or even there's a possibility that during the time from which my manifestations are already set into motion, so an example would be if I already imagined something yesterday, if today I start rewriting my assumptions, it's still possible that the road is going to morph and change based on what I have just set into motion. But the point is that from that point forward, after I plant that seed, it must manifest. So if I write statements such as everything comes easy, money comes to me perfectly, all my romantic relationships are awesome and epic and lovely, whatever. Now, when I imagine something, the bridge of incidents is going to be based on those assumptions. And so that's the way that this works. So definitely check out the supplementary material. Just type in Lost Art of Assumptions. I think that's the main one actually. But anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, definitely subscribe, hit the bell icon. Stay tuned for more. Thank you so much for watching.